The idea of the project is to utilize photonics for developing a new generation of radar that can overcome the main limitation of the current radars.
The photonic radar allows an improvement of resolution with smaller antennas. Moreover, it can be used for multiple services as control of heterogeneous traffic as well as environment monitoring. And finally, it can also be used for dual use, that is, surveillance and also wideband communication.
An important application for the photonic radar is the airport security. Here, this kind of radar can guarantee an integrated control of the air and land traffic, and it can also provide all operation concerning the communication among the airport staff. In this way, it is possible to contribute in reducing the number of accidents on the runways.
Antonella Bogoni has been engaged in research for over 15 years. Now she's head of the research area of the Photonic Networks Lab of the National Inter-University Consortium for Telecommunications, CNIT. The work on her project is funded by the European Research Council, ERC. There are about a dozen researchers and PhD students in the group.
We have to use a single laser producing light pulses both at the transmitter and at the receiver of the radar system in order to improve the quality of the transmitted signal, the transmission, especially in terms of phase noise. And at the same time, at the receiver, we can improve the resolution of the radar system, and so we can detect the target with more details, but for what concerns the target itself and its velocity, especially in the presence of not optimum weather conditions.
The project is called Phodir, Photonic-Based Fully Digital Radar. It commenced in 2009, and in 2012 an extension of the project was financed.
Okay guys, so please, we have to focus the ERC funding on three main points. The first point is the technological aspect. We have to identify the most suitable laser for this application. The second point is the interaction between electronic and photonics. And the third point is the improvement of the signal processing to relax the hardware specification. And then remember that the state-of-the-art presents very few works on this topic.
Valeria joined this group in 2012. She's young and full of enthusiasm.
I did my PhD at the University of Pavia, then I spent 6 months in Germany, and attracted by this project funded by ERC, knowing that ERC funds a highly important scientific project, I applied for a postdoc position here. I'm really happy and satisfied, and we work very well together, and I hope to stay here.
Right from the start, radar experts have also been involved in the project.
A key factor for this research project is the synergy between optical communication and the RF technologies. And in this direction, two national laboratories of the CNIT have been involved. The National Laboratories of Photonic Network and the Technological Design Center for the Photonic Integrated Circuits, and the National Laboratories of Radar and Surveillance System for the System Design and Radar Signal Processing. It's the first time that these two technologies are combined together.
The backing of the ERC has attracted back other gifted young people who had moved abroad.
In particular, I got a postdoc in Canada. After 2 years, fortunately, I had the opportunity to come back to work as a researcher in Pisa, especially thanks to the project funded by ERC. I guess this is the best choice to me, especially because this kind of funding gives the opportunity to work on particularly novel ideas in engineering.
I got my PhD in Parma at 24 years old in electronic engineering, and then I chose to start my activities in the research field. I've always been attracted by research because it's very stimulating, because it requires fantasy to make in practice new ideas.
Antonella arrived in Pisa in 2001 and is among the pioneers of the Integrated Research Centre for Photonic Networks and Technologies.
In 2009, they changed with the ERC funding. We had an idea in a sense revolutionary that was very hard to propose in the most of the funding scenarios due to the high level of innovation of the idea. Moreover, the state of the art was quite absent and there was no way to demonstrate the validity of the idea. Looking for alternative funding, we found the ERC European scenario that was completely dedicated to very innovative projects, so we decided to apply there. Now I'm very satisfied because the project is going well and we obtained a second ERC funding to continue the activity and transform the results of our research in a pre-industrial design dedicated to a specific application concerning the security in the airport.
Working in this research project is really stimulating for all of us. As a consequence to this push to innovation, I have recently submitted a research proposal to the European Research Council by myself. The ERC projects are the best framework for proposing innovative research projects and to improve our research career. Therefore, I really suggest to all the researchers in Italy as well as all over Europe to try to propose projects to the European Research Council.
In the evening, after finishing her work in the lab, Antonella pursues her hobbies.
I like cooking, I like play piano. I don't think my kind of work affects so much my private life.
The group often meets up at her home. Emma, another researcher, comes along too. Certainly for a woman, this kind of life must be pretty difficult.
But in my opinion, women also have a stronger attitude than men in managing the organization of the family and the work. So this certainly helps us to carry out our work.
And what changes if the group coordinator is a woman?
The coordination quality depends on the attitude of the person, in my opinion, more than to be a woman or man. I think the most hard thing to do is to be able to make people respect her role and her authority in coordinating and make decisions.
I think it is easier to work with a woman chief than a man because, of course, women can understand better the problems related to the fact that we are women. So, and also there is a certain feeling between women. So often you can become friends, and that's what happened with Antonella.
The laboratories are abuzz with activity. The direction taken is highly encouraging, we believe. Solutions adopted are the right ones and future prospects are extremely interesting.
With the first ERC funding, we demonstrated the proof of concept of the photonic radar. With the second one, we want to focus on the application and on the integration between radar and communication. What we want to do is to transfer the benefit that we demonstrate for the radar also in the complex world of the telecommunication. Basically, what we want to do is to push our research to give a contribution on the internet of the future and on the mobile network and all the radio communication in the future. I worked for a long period in US, but I decided to stay in Italy because I prefer to contribute to the research in my country. For sure, the ERC funding represented an important element in my choice, and they had a big impact on my career, both in terms of results that I obtained and also in terms of award and exposure at international level. So I can say that I don't have any kind of regret. It's like a dream that comes true.